Hey, this is Kevin, and for today's genre, I'm going to be talking about three of some of my favorite historical fiction books. So I have two that are kind of more recent, and then one that is takes place a little further back in time. All are pretty recent, and I would recommend any one of these three. So the first one is called My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich. It talks about a young woman whose grandfather was an engineer that helped integrate NASA in the 1960s, and she moves to Harlem, New York in the mid 80s, and experiences quite a bit of culture shock and kind of a coming of age story, but it is kind of told from a unique perspective and very well written. Um, Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany Jackson. I got to listen to the author speak last year. It is a really interesting tale and kind of it talks about the hip hop era of the 90s, pretty much. So Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. and kind of the real giants of that era in hip hop music. And it is a really interesting historical novel, and there's not very many that are written like this or about this topic. And it is really great characters and a lot of great information. And then the last one is Between Shades of Grey. So this takes place in the 1940s, so a little further back, and deals with kind of Stalin and the concentration camps, and talks about a 15-year-old Lena who is kind of fighting for her life and for her family. And it is an incredibly powerful story. So if you like that kind of World War II era, but is ultimately kind of a story about the power of humans to deal with tough circumstances and make the best of them. So I highly recommend any of these three. Hopefully, you guys check them out.